Oh boy, we're streaming. We are streaming. Oh no. God, I hate this. Maybe everyone got burned out on the streaming. Goodness gracious. Should I move the light? Two views. That's great. That's just for shits and giggles. That hits, bro. Alright. Let's try game capture. Why is it not working? let's try that. Hey. What's going on here, blood? God dang it. God dang it, Bobby. Hello. What's up? How you doing? I was doing a little gaming past few nights, and then that didn't really seem to hit, so I stopped gaming. But then I ran into a problem where, like, if I wanted to game, now I can't do game capture for some reason on my OBS, and I don't know what it is. I tried troubleshooting, but it do not work. What if I do window capture? Ah, there we go. Alright, yeah, let's play a little Sim Shitty. Let's play some Sim Shitty. That's... Yeah, so use window capture instead of game capture. How invigorating. Fantastic. Mayor... Skib. Skib City. Oh man, I don't even know what mode I started on. Also, this is gonna kind of be annoying. I didn't think this through. I didn't think this through at all because now oh yeah, this is This is pretty chill. Nothing hits like a watermelon after a bath. Make sure the desktop volume's on. The soundtrack is fire, actually. Yeah, there we go. That's down a little bit. Okay. Water. I hope you guys like this game. Really active. What is up? Xander. Yeah, if you took the you know what, you should watch the 2013 sport formula recipe video, and you should drink that pretty much like every day. Honestly, it would help. I like that crunch. Some good crunch. Yo, what's up? Is my mic on? My mic should be on. Yeah, my mic should be on. For the injections, if you took the shot. "2013 sports formula." Because I don't think you're in my school. But I see you in here, so I want to help you out. I want to give you some help. I want to help my day ones. I want to get back to the day ones. What do I need? Check out Isn't the soundtrack fire though? I'd almost just keep it up and just not play the game. Residential. Why did I do that? So what's up, Dan? Hello, 2 viewers. Oh, I need roads. The roads. There we go. I'm telling you, this soundtrack is fire. Oh, nice. Appreciate you, Xander. I was going to work on getting a discount code set up. But we appreciate you. Are you going to come to the conference next year? You thinking about it? Is that something you can do? Are you old enough? You know, it's a family-friendly event. You can bring your rents. Your parents, I mean. Your rents. Listen to me. Talk like I live in 1990 hospital. Fire. Holy. Actually build a road here. Okay. That should be better. The conference details will be released like first of the year, sometime like that. So, I mean, there's still a ways to go, but you'll find out. Primal Diet Coaching is where we kind of launch everything for that. So just keep an eye out there. If you signed up on this mailing list in the stores, you shouldn't have any problems with that. Landfill. Uh-oh. What is that doing here? XRP properties. Nope. Don't need that. Landfill. Oh. I might need some more water. I don't know. Everyone's pretty hydrated. No. No. There we go. Shoot. Nice. There's a will, there's a way. Awesome. Okay, we gotta go to default view, apply. So basically, the way this works is you have to connect your neighborhoods for power, and the pipes, pretty self-explanatory. You connect the pipes, they work. Connect the roads, they work. Helps to set it up like a grid. Road to nowhere, baby. How's the volume now? It should be good. I do want a little music though because it's a fire soundtrack. I want to share that with everybody. How good the soundtrack is. This clay or skin? Oh, it's clay. got some clay in the hair, huh? I'll wash that out later. Without adequate fire protection. Uh-oh. Live chat. Having some stinky beef with the lube formula. Nice. That's great news. I'm happy for you. The game froze. The game froze and it disappeared. Let's try to reset, transform, and transform. Why does the transform not work? Let's try to hit it again. Oh, well, it stopped working, so we're gonna have to just close it. This game doesn't really like to do this. I had a similar problem. End task. Bye-bye. Okay. Yeah, I think you mean live chat. For some reason, they censored your stuff, Miguel. I don't know why. I don't know if I can change that. I think he left. Oh, no, maybe he didn't. Concurrent viewers. I got 2 different numbers. I don't know how that works. Oh, well. Well, thanks for hanging out and giving me the watch time. I wanted to do a little something, but I think there's problems with the game is really old and it doesn't translate so well to OBS, especially when I'm switching between monitors. It gets a little funky, so it stopped working. Oh well. But I'm here to take questions and just hang out, so and pick my nose, I guess. You got something in your nose and it's like you just gotta get it out. It's kind of the way I feel right now. Okay. Oh man. I put a clay mask on when I was in the bath. Makes my skin feel really clean. And then you have the melon after the bath, or even in the bath. That's so good. It's like perfect. It's like perfect, bro. So good. Okay, for some reason, the top chat doesn't work anymore. Oh well. Well, that needs to go over here. That's the trading. Okay, yeah. No, thank you. It's not necessary. It's just helpful. What it does is it gets into the lymph and it keeps the lymph moving after you take a bath. During, it makes it more effective. Ideally, it'd be good if you could just eat pineapple On days you have a bath, 3 to 5 hours before you take a bath. It's better if you do it before, not after or during, because it won't be as effective. If you do it, and trust me, I've done it before, and I felt like the most wet noodle I've ever felt, like a wet noodle from doing a bath. So it does make a difference. It really does. And if you can do it, recommend it. But just at least do pineapple and some fat, before the bath. If you can't get the coconut cream, if you can get the coconut cream, that's okay too. That's okay. Just do the pineapple. That will be helpful. So, and like I've done stuff like I ate a lot of melon before and during a bath, and I got a pretty strong intestinal detox. So, and sometimes I'll eat a lot of melon and I'll get some intestinal stuff. The melons are pretty cleansing and soothing for the intestines. It just depends on how your body wants to use it. But I love watermelon. I got one more watermelon in the fridge, and then that's it. It'll be over. Fresh fruit will be over for the season. So I'll probably eat some tropical fruit. I'll do the papaya custard. I'll keep up with the pineapple a little bit. And yeah. Other fruits, maybe apples. Apples and cheese goes hard. Apples and cheese goes very hard. It's a great combo. Some of my favorite apples include Crimson Crisp, Wine Sap. It's a very sophisticated apple. Let's see what else. Pink Lady, probably my favorite. I might make some more hard cider too. I haven't decided yet. I need to have a good day off to go down and press it and then bottle it and then bring it back home. I might even do 10 gallons. How many years? Oh, I don't know, man. I've met people who go to hot springs and they'll like sleep in them. They like stay in the hot spring for like a whole day, and then they'll sleep for like 2-3 days. Hot springs kind of hot bath is kind of a workout. Yeah, I don't know. I know John Reed. He's the guy who wrote Therapeutic Hot Tubs, Hot Baths. Not the Agenus bath book, but he was Agenus's massage therapist, and he wrote a book on how to build and set up a hot tub for healing. I haven't read it yet, but I hear it's pretty good. And he probably still does hot baths. I've been doing baths for 4 years. So it makes a big difference. It really speeds up the healing. So definitely recommend it. It's just a nice way to bathe too. It's relaxing. It helps with aches and pains. If you're going through a detox, a bath is a good thing to do. It's very helpful. It speeds it up. Makes you feel like less like crap. So, yeah, I took a bath. I put a clay mask on, and I was eating watermelon. That looked a little insensitive, let's say, but I didn't mean any offense by it. Okay. But when you put the clay on the skin in the bath, it really helps draw out everything that's in your skin. And now my skin's like very soft. It feels very good, and I had some blemishes, and now they've kind of cleared up, or it just sucks it out. So I have a lot of acne on my scalp, actually, folliculitis. Especially when I eat oysters and beef. Oysters and beef tends to make certain areas of my body flare up with acne. Mostly behind the ears here and behind the neck. So, yeah, if I cut my hair really short, Probably be good just to put a bunch of clay on my head and just let it draw everything out. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Coconut cream is also good for the scalp, good for the hair. I've used that before. Your hair can feel a little greasy afterwards, but yeah. Grapefruit is another thing I'd like to experiment with, washing with. It'd be good to cut through the grease, and I think it helps with negating poisons and stuff in the skin, so that'd be a good one to use. Grapefruit's a really good fruit. I love grapefruit. If you haven't seen it, I did a whole did a whole tier ranking video of all the fruits, of all the foods, and my personal rankings, personal preference. It's not objective. I did the objective meat list, which is also good to watch because I explain the meats, all the meats, what they're good for, and why you need all of them, why they are all S tier. Just spoiled the video for you. Yeah. I just watched or read the new One Piece. It was pretty awesome. I don't know if we got any One Piece readers in the chat, but man, I really look forward to One Piece every week. It's really great. The anime and the manga. They're telling the story of God Valley right now, which, if you know One Piece, you know that's a pretty big event, and it's pretty cool. One Piece will be done in like 9 years. It'll be finished. That's the timeline. So, you still got time to catch up. Yeah, honestly, a good time to get into One Piece would be like 2 years before it ends. 'Cause that's how long it'll take you to get through all the readings and all the episodes. You can definitely read it faster than if you watch it because there's a lot of filler. Not just like episodes, but filler like transitions and recaps of prior episodes. It's kind of a mess. The production company just milks it so they make more money. But also the schedule. It's like if they produce too much anime, then they're going to run out. They'll catch up to the manga, and that won't be good. So I think there's a big announcement tomorrow for One Piece. It'll be interesting to hear. So yeah, I'm a huge nerd, I know. Looking forward to the new Chainsaw Man movie. That's going to be really awesome. Chainsaw Man's a really fun anime. But yeah, I'm just yapping about anime, and you guys probably want to hear about the diet. I don't know. As far as what to yap about, I don't really, what did I eat today? Well, I woke up and I had some eggs, and then I went to work. Farmer's market. And then I had 2 eggs there. I didn't eat any fruit because when it gets colder, I don't really crave it. I don't drink any kombucha. And yeah, then I came home and I feasted. I made some more ketchup sauce. And then I had steak with swordfish in the ketchup sauce and oysters. I got these really big Blue Point oysters. They were very tasty. And some Malpec oysters. Malpec oysters. Very good as well. Small, but the Blue Point oysters were nice and big and meaty. And they're a great deal. They taste very delicious. Very balanced oyster taste. Not too briny. And then I took my bath and I put in half a gallon of milk this time because I have a lot of milk I need to use. Because I'm going up to Amish next week. And then I drank this milk and I had a watermelon. And I'll probably just drink the rest of this milk. And I don't know if I have any eggs, but I'll have some honey with some milk. And that's what I ate today, you know. Pretty light-ish. I probably should have ate more eggs, but I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight before the summer. Before the winter. Because I want to lose some weight. And then I want to bulk up. Like get to 200 pounds over winter. And then I'll probably, once I get that fat, I'll probably go into a detox. Because that happens sometimes. Once your body reaches a certain weight and you have the nutrients, your body will detox. So, yeah. And all my eyes changed color. So, I'm into that. Just get real fat and then lose the weight. Springtime comes, I'll do vegetable juice and eggs and a little bit of meat. I'll focus on that, and I won't do so much of the milk and cream and butter. And that'll be nice. Well, actually, no, that's not nice. You're kind of hungry all the time, but you lose weight, and you don't have to do much. Might start taking walks. And I've got ankle weights, so walking's like more challenging now. I want to lose weight before I bulk just to get rid of some of this fat I've been carrying around. When you carry around fat, it leaches toxins from the body. Either stuff that your body's discarding or from your environment. So the fat gets used up in a sense. So you want to break it down and get it out of your body so it's not there anymore. It's like a sponge. You want to get rid of the dirty sponge. And then put on new fat. So my body can absorb more toxins. Basically. That's why. Can you guys hear me chugging? Let me see. I might be able to pick it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm chugging my milk. I don't care. I probably won't chug anymore. I'm quenched. I'm pretty quenched after that because, yeah, the bath's really taken out of you. Actually, in Japan, it's customary to drink milk after your hot spring. So, there you go. Perfect little drink. A lot of minerals, the fats. It's a nice combo. So, yep, we're going to try to hit 200 pounds this winter. I'm pretty bullish on that. I'm looking forward to it. Might need to buy some more pants. I'm not looking forward to that. I get up to like a size 38. I think I have some size 38s that would be good. They're a little long, but that's okay. I won't be able to fit into my jeans, though. I need to get some, like, elasta-waist stuff. Man, this average view time is brutal. I don't know how much longer I'll stay on. I'll give it another 15 minutes. I say that and then I stay on like an hour. I promoted this on Instagram, which I've never done before, and like nobody stopped by. Let's see how many people viewed my story. And how many people did not stop by. Okay, 12. So pretty much the views. So maybe they stopped by. It looks like everybody stopped by. Xander, I see you. Xander, I'll follow you back. Normally, I don't follow back private accounts because I feel like people, they're private. They're not really trying to follow people. But I always see you in here. And like I said, I want to take care of my day ones. So, requested. If you don't want me to be a follower, I'm not going to hold it against you. I understand why people live the private life. And that's okay. In fact, I'm very, I kind of like that. I'm trying to do this stuff more again, and I do plan to start posting on TikTok. And, again, I honestly didn't miss that. Because, it looks easy, like when people just post something that's like a minute long, you think like, oh, that's so easy to do, but honestly, it's like, when I was like recording myself eating something every day, it was just a pain in the butt. It was like, ugh. It got to be tiresome. And responding to comments, because that's engagement. And there's some people who are interested and you want to give them a good answer. There's some people who are trolling and you want to troll them back. And there's some people who are just bless their hearts, their lost causes. And you want to maybe argue with them a little bit or own them, roast them. Which I've always been pretty good at with my words. But I try to have a little more grace nowadays, because what I really liked was video responses, because people could comment something and you could do a whole video response, which isn't really fair. And I roasted this kid. I just like, man, I just tore him apart. And not necessarily like him, like personally, but he kind of took it personally. And I felt bad because like he like got rid of all his videos, and then he had another account. And this kid was like growing pot. And I felt bad because this kid was like, he was smoking too much, obviously, but he was really good at growing this stuff. And I tried to like send him a message like, hey, like, I was like, because I felt bad, I was like trying to be positive to him, like, hey, like, you're really good at this, and that's a good skill, kind of, and don't smoke too much, it's not good. And yeah, man, the kid, I just felt bad. So ever since then, I always try to have more grace with people online, because that kid, I like, it was too much. Don't get me wrong, a lot of these people ask for it, and they don't extend the respectfulness or the grace in conversation. But again, it's an open forum, whatever, it's the internet. But at the same time, try to be a little nicer. So, my protocol for losing weight. I do the recipe book schedule mostly. So I wake up, I eat cheese, and then I eat eggs. That doesn't change. I do that pretty much every day regardless. And then I'll drink vegetable juice. And then in my vegetable juice is celery, parsley, beets, and or carrots sometimes, ginger, and the beet greens, and a whole lemon. I do a whole lemon per gallon. And yeah, I drink a quart of that a day, pretty much, with eggs. And then in the evening, I'll eat like a couple bites of red meat or any kind of meat, mostly red meat, and then a little bit of fat with that, or eggs. And I try to drink no more than 2 cups of milk a night. That's basically the weight loss protocol. Another weight loss protocol would just be like to eat eggs all day, nothing but eggs. Another one would be you could have a little bit of cheese, butter, and honey in the morning and at night, and that's it. And then eggs throughout the day. And then the other version is what I told you with the vegetable juice. The vegetable juice is helpful because your body will be getting rid of stuff. So the vegetable juice is like helpful to keep the blood, to capture the free radicals in the blood. Yeah, the lemon and the ginger also help burn fat a little bit. I noticed no difference doing the primal diet. Pepe the Kekistani says. Probably kind of a troll with a username like that. Let's go to Kekistan, bro. It's so based. T says video response. Yeah. I'm talking about TikTok comment video responses. You can respond to someone's comment and make a video, and you put their comment up there. It's usually used. It's either a good thing or a bad thing, because it's like someone's really like engaging with your comment, or they're like putting you on display to embarrass you and roast you. Pepe the Kekistani says, Scott Hull says to chew weed. Yes, he does. If you are having to do drugs on the primal diet, you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't need drugs. If you are going to do drugs, they're going to make you not feel good. Because if you're eating enough fats and meat, your endocrine system will be balanced. And taking drugs will put it out of balance, and you won't feel as good. So, yeah, chewing a lot of stuff is actually really bad too, because it excites your parotid glands, your saliva glands, and that's a detoxification mechanism. So, like, you're just like excreting toxins in your mouth and keeping them there to chew stuff to get high. So, I mean, a lot of people will make excuses for their habits. You know, instead of smoking weed, I'll just chew weed. It's the same thing as like anything, like people who do the repeat diet, which I guess it isn't really a diet, but you know, it's just an excuse to eat sugar and do drugs and like pharmaceuticals because it feels good. Like, oh, dude, I'm so bioenergetic because I ate all this sugar. It's like, yeah, no, that's just sugar high, bud. That's not good to eat. It's not good to eat sugar. Oh no, but it's glucose, dude. It's my body uses it as a fuel source instantly. It's like, yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Weed is the same thing. Weed, salt, tobacco, alcohol. No, don't get me wrong. I'll have a drink. And I actually have approximately one drink left waiting for me. And when I say one drink, I mean almost half a gallon of cider. And that's what I drink in an evening when I drink. And I drink it in the tub. And I don't drink it just to drink and be drunk. I drink it because the alcohol helps thin my blood. It makes the bath feel better. It makes it more tolerable because the blood gets thin. And it also helps clean out the body. It melts down. It dissolves the hardened fats in the body. So if I have any hardened fats that have deposited, it's going to help clean it out. And yeah, it's also just a nice refreshing beverage to drink in the tub. And I drink the cider, and when I'm drinking the cider, I have like a dozen eggs with that cider. So I drink almost an equal amount of eggs and cider together. And the next day I wake up, I don't feel hungover, but I don't feel great. I don't feel normal. And normal is like feeling good. I don't feel normal. I feel a little laggy. I feel like a little down. I feel down. That's the best way I can put it. I don't feel up. I feel a little down. But that goes away after a day. But yeah, you know, like I said, something to take the edge off. But, you know, what? If I'm drinking, because I made 5 gallons of cider, I gave away 2 gallons, right? If I'm drinking 3 gallons of cider over 11 months, that's nothing, dude. That's like nothing. I'm not coping. Lemon, turmeric, ginger, black pepper, water potion. Not quite. Turmeric would be something good to put in the juice, honestly. A little bit of ginger, a little bit of turmeric isn't bad. I wouldn't do the black pepper. The lemon can be kind of harsh. Do I mix in eggs with my meat? Not always, not usually. I'm not a big fan of that. I just slonk them separately. Um, Even when I pate meat, I prefer to just pate the meat plain. I used to put an egg in, but I'm just not really into that. I don't like it that much. Um, yeah. So I just slunk the eggs separately. Pepe the Kekistani says weed does wreck your endocrine system. It does. It messes up your short-term memory and your lungs as well. My thoughts on egg whites. Good question, Maximus. The egg white's good. The egg yolk is good. You need to consume both together. You're missing out if you don't. The meme that people, it's mostly GOTA cells, parrot is that the egg whites have avidin in them, which prevents like B12 absorption or something, B vitamin absorption, whatever. I don't even care because it's fake and it doesn't exist. It's stupid. But the total irony of a GOTA cell staring you in the face and telling you, yeah, I don't eat the egg whites because of these man-made studies in these man-made labs told me not to do it, and it's bad. That's why most people are stupid, because they don't think. They're like, yeah, that's man-made, that's really bad. Oh, but I'm not going to eat this whole food that's found in nature that animals eat because of these man-made studies in this man-made lab. What the hell? It's like people don't even have a freaking brain anymore, man. It's ridiculous. And I'm not one to like call people names or like I try to be nice, but sometimes it's just too much. I would just tell them like, you're a freaking idiot, dude. Like, you're a freaking idiot. Like, be congruent. But I guess that's the quandary of a GOTA cell, is there's no congruency. It's all hypocrisy. Whatever. They're sick people. So we got to get that Primal Asylum funded, guys. But yeah, egg whites are good. The only time like you should consume eggs on their own is like if you do egg whites in your eyes. I don't ever make beef tartare. No, I don't. Not really. I used to. Now I prefer to eat beef with my delicious, awesome ketchup sauce. That's pretty much like one of the best sauces anybody ever makes on the diet in the world. People who don't eat egg whites are bigots. Thank you, Hess. He gets it. Hess gets it. Yeah, Xander. That's why. It's because people parrot studies that have nothing to do with human digestion, nothing to do with reality. I used to eat, I still eat a fair number of eggs every year, but I used to eat over 4,000 eggs a year, guys. I'm not deficient in anything. It's all fake. It doesn't do anything. Even the Weston Price people, they'll say, oh, you gotta cook egg whites because of the avidin. It's like, no you don't, dude. No you don't, Sally. Just shh. And that's what's funny about the Weston A. Price. Here's a little bit about them. So in Weston A. Price's books, he actually says that humans need to eat 50% raw meat. The human diet, the best human diets include meat that is 50% raw. 50% of the meat consumed is raw. And Sally Fallon, when Sally Fallon was asked about this, she said, oh no, well I can't do that because then no one's going to buy my book and no one's going to come to my conferences and no one's going to take me seriously because nobody wants to eat raw meat because it's gross. Even though that's like the entire thing she's promoting, the Weston A. Price, he literally says, I need to stop saying that. He actually says, yes, to be healthy as a human, 50% of the meat you eat needs to be raw. And that is not anywhere in the the wise traditions, the 11 wise traditions. They recently just added small amounts of raw liver. It's so dumb. And at their conferences, it's like a bunch of supplements and protein bars and stuff. It's just a joke. It's just a big cash grab. Time Machine 2 asks, do you add salt to your ketchup sauce? No, I don't eat salt at all. 0 salt. Salt is a drug. It's much like sugar. I don't consume salt. Salt doesn't make me feel good. If you watch the sushi stream, where I ate some sushi that had salt, I had a sore throat for like 2 days. I had a sore throat for 2 days because of MSG. That's how bad it is, man. So, like, I was expecting to feel something, but I didn't expect to do that. Yes, Weston A. Price did say that about raw meat. It's hidden because Sally Fallon doesn't promote it. Because she also has a grudge against Augenus. So she's got kind of a grudge against Augenus. A little bit. Salted raw meat. No, not necessarily. Xander didn't know either. That's okay, bud. Have I been to any of the Weston A. Price conferences in the past year? They can be fun. Been to a couple. Yeah, if you've been to a Weston A. Price conference, you've probably met Phoenix. Because Phoenix has been setting up primaldiet booths incognito at every Weston A. Price conference. Augenus is probably smiling down from heaven because of that. So Phoenix is, he works with Amos Miller for his farm, Simply Grass Fed. And they have booths at Weston A. Price. They service a lot of those customers. And so they have a booth there. And he brings like Augenus books and materials to sell at his booth and promotes the diet. And he'll be there eating, raw meat and drinking milk. And it's pretty funny. I haven't been there, but I have friends who have gone to the events and volunteered and helped out there. They're going to be there at Salt Lake City. So if you see Simply Grass Fed and the Primal Diet, they'll be there. There will be raw meat eaters there. So you could, get to know them and have some raw meat while the Weston A. Price eat their supplements, their salt, and their protein bars. So, yeah, just a heads up. I won't be going to those things. I'm not really big into that kind of stuff, honestly. The only thing I go to is like our conference, like my conference. It's like I have a conference that I organize and host and put on and plan, coordinate. So like I have that to do once a year. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of Sundays. A lot of Sundays go into that you guys don't see. But, it's worth it. It's good. And, working to grow that into something big. We're hoping to have at least 50 people there this year. And we're going to have a cow slaughter, I'm pretty sure. Because if 50 people come, 55 people come, and we're there for 5 days, maybe 6 days, and everybody needs a pound of meat a day, that's 330 pounds of meat. That's a lot of meat. That's like a lot of lamb. So it might just make sense to just butcher the cow and eat the cow. And then we can send meat home with people, and we can have all the glands, organs, and blood we need. What do you think about factory farmed raw trim fat? Not great. It's not great, normal Samuel. I mean, if it's the best you can do, it's the best you can do, but it's not going to taste great, honestly. Can I twerk? KBLS wants to know if I can twerk. Do it twerk? No. I don't dance. I will die before I dance. You can put a gun to my head and say dance, and I'll just tell you to pull the trigger, man. 30 years is a lot longer than most people get, and there's worse things than dying. Dancing is one of those things. So just pull the trigger, put me out of my misery. I don't care. It's crazy how much this diet becomes a part of your identity. It's true. Just like a lot of things become people's identity. But I'd argue it only becomes that way if you don't have a solid foundation in your life. Something like God. If you don't have God in your life, yes, this whatever you're into will usurp your identity, and that'll become the main thing you identify experiences and people through. I'm not so much that way. For instance, like, I don't care about going to every Primal potluck. I don't care about, like, eating raw food with people all the time. Like, some people are like, and I get it, like, people are lonely. They're like, oh, I need community, man. I need friends, and we need to organize on the diet, and you know, all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Like, I don't care, you know. Like, I get along with people and can talk to people who don't eat this way. Like, I don't care how people eat. I don't judge how people eat, generally. I don't try to push this on people. You know, if people ask me about it, like today at Giant Eagle, I was buying seafood, and the guy was like, wow, what does an Ohio boy like you have a taste for all this seafood? And I said, well, do you really want to know? It might make you feel differently of me. And he's like, oh, sure. And so I told him. I just told him. I was like, yeah, I've been doing this 8 years, blah, blah, blah. He said, oh, that's interesting. You know, he's like, I was diabetic. I was on Atkins. I lost like 60 pounds, and my blood sugar's not as good as it should be because I do some carbohydrates, but I'm thinking about getting back on the diet. I was thinking about doing a carnivore diet. I said, well, yeah, I mean, you know, I know a lot of people who just do the meat, but I'd recommend to make sure you do meat and fat. So, factory farm trim tastes bad. Yeah, don't waste it. Normal. What I like to do is I have a recipe on my page, my YouTube, and it's just how to blend goat fat with pineapple, and it makes a very good tasting thing. Western price people you cook their meat eating where it's a processed cod liver oil. True. Sally Farm Store to ask about the cheese. Yep, I actually know that guy. I used to talk online with that guy. I'm glad to hear he's still on the diet. I fell out of touch with him, but yeah, he works on the farm there, and he's on the diet. So yeah, I know the guy. Kind of. I mean, I used to know him. I haven't talked to him in a couple years, but yeah, he's a good dude. He was really into the diet. He's really knowledgeable about the diet. But yeah, he makes his own cheese. Yeah, because he was telling me how they keep the cheese. They like spray a bunch of chemicals and bleach to keep the mold away. Not on the cheese, but in the facility that uses the cheese. And he wore like a mask to do all that stuff, which I don't blame him. I would too. Yeah, the pineapple fat is really good. Just use more pineapple than fat, though. 60-40. And that'll give you a nice slurry to add to your meat meals. It'll help digest. If you store it in a glass jar, the pineapple and the fat will break down over time. It'll ferment a little bit, but it will be really good to clear up and clean up your body, the pineapple and the fat together. Why does Weston A. Price Foundation encounter the same opposition that Ogdenus faced? because they're trying to get raw milk legalized. That's why. And that's basically that's one of Ogenes's biggest things was to get raw milk legalized. He would go to courts and hearings and testify and all this for raw milk. And Weston A. Price, they are doing actually a pretty good job of easing raw milk laws and such in different states, like Iowa was, I think, the last one, Arizona maybe, a few different places. So yeah, that's why they also speak out against the V's, the injections. And I mean, just promoting healthy food in general. Big Pharma doesn't like that. Okay, so I got 8 viewers in here, and I want to know. 9 viewers, 3 likes, but who's counting? So I want to know, I've been streaming, and I've been doing a little bit of gaming, and I've noticed that people were not coming through. Was this because I was gaming? Why? What is this? I mean, I'm not judging. I'm just curious. Like, what is the big deal? If I'm playing a little game, I'm trying to have a little something for everybody, you see? So, like, I have a little gaming, and I'm doing Q&A at the same time. It's a little something, fun to distract from just me and a screen yapping. I mean, I guess maybe I am that intelligent, handsome, charismatic, and engaging that I can just talk to a screen and people will show up, and, that's great. 4 likes, 9 viewers. Hey, that's great, but who's counting? And, that's great and everything, but I'm just trying to, mix it up. So I just was curious about the feedback because what's the deal? Like, is it that you can't see me in full screen so you don't join? Like, I don't understand. If you do the game, having the window small is better. We're mainly here for you. Don't even put it in the title. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because then maybe people think I'm just talking about the game, but I'm not. Small World. Brian Clemens, Hippo Foodus. Yeah, I heard about that through Phoenix. That there were people there who are on the raw fooders, but they're quiet about it in front of the vegans. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if I'm going to have the gaming, I want to make it so it's like people can see what's going on. But I just can't fathom like just watching someone talk, For me, it would just personally, it would be fun to have something going on I could focus on in addition to listening. But I'm kind of a freak multitasker, so maybe a lot of people aren't like that. They're like just one thing. So, and it's Civilization, 4. It's not like I'm playing the next, whatever its game, dumb game. It's like a good strategy game. It's kind of funny. Like, I thought it was really funny when you can slavery as a form of government. That wasn't in Civilization 5. And I made a joke like, "Oh, do we want to do this?" Yeah, I said, "Yeah, we're gonna do this, but we'll get rid of slavery later. Don't worry." No, Civ is not the most visually exciting game, but I'm still maybe a little too autistic. For me, it's very exciting. It's very enthralling. Yeah, I think so too, Maximus. That's what it seems like. And I like that. I appreciate that. But, I don't, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out my audience. I'm trying to get in the groove here. So, it would be nice to do a music stream. But I can only do that on TikTok because they don't care about copyright. The Chinese don't care. Well, that may change as Larry Ellison now owns TikTok. You can't do that kind of stuff on YouTube. or kick. I might do some streaming in the wild. I get an iPhone and a selfie stick, a better camera. I can do some streaming in the wild. That might be fun. Yeah, Civ is relaxing. Okay. A walker type in the chat. The walkers are coming. Coral. The walkers are coming. Yeah, we haven't heard from Walker. Maybe he went out and got some huzz, got some pruz. Yes, RTS, real-time strategy. Walker. Yeah, maybe I made him think about life a little too much, and he's re-examining his ways. He's reconnecting with nature, with some young college co-ed. My favorite food? Yeah, sorry, I saw that question earlier and I forgot to answer it. I got a little bit of a tangent there. My favorite foods right now, well, it's fall, so cheese and apples. Cheese and pink lady apples. Clabbered milk and honey. Swordfish. My famous, delicious, spicy ketchup sauce. And steak. That's like really what I'm eating right now. Oh, strawberry ice cream, strawberry milkshake. That's my fave, for sure. Let's see what else. A close second is a black raspberry milkshake and ice cream. That tastes like a brownie. I don't know why, but it tastes like brownie. I don't think that was very affirming for him. Walker, yeah. I don't know. More exhausting? Not really. I mean, if I plan my day and I have something, an event or whatever, and I go out and I do it, it'd be fine. Yeah. I haven't got out in the wild because I'm just kind of lazy and busy, honestly. I don't really have the time to ride my bike. I say that, but honestly, I'd rather just lay in the sun than ride my bike. I'd lay in the sun and just soak up the sun and straighten out my back and stretch a little bit instead of getting on my bike. That's the truth. That's why I haven't been going to the park with my bike and doing those videos. I also work outside in the summer past few years, so like I'm already outside all day and working, so it's like I don't really feel like riding my bike on my days off because it's like I've got to pump up my tires too. I need new inner tubes, I think. So, and those are just kind of it's just annoying to put on, dude. Oh, I didn't see that. That's pretty funny, though. Let me check it out. I'm just reading some comments. Yeah, dude, people are dumb, man. What are you gonna do? Fabian Kowalik. That's so funny. Hmm. Hmm. Typical brainwashed German. Hmm. Yeah, that's funny. Do I cheat on the diet? I had some sushi 2 weeks ago. That's the first time I cheated in years. Acidic elephant. You won't see the critical comments in the top comments. No, you won't. Yeah, it's funny. Like I see videos like people who are like talking about um, like the primal diet. It's like 17-year-old kids. It's like, why are you asking a 17-year-old kid about the diet? He's been on the diet for like 3 months. Hmm. Hmm. Sorry, I'm reading. Man, that's cringe. Do I ever crave cooked foods? No. Yeah. There's someone, Emily, who's like suing YouTube for keeping him on. and they're like keeping him on. Like YouTube is not kicking him off, even though she's bringing all this evidence to kick him off. It's pretty suspicious. I don't know what the conviction sentencing would be. I really don't suspect he will go to prison. I think he will do something drastic and probably take his own life. He won't go to prison. He will take his own life. He's a coward. That's great, Time Machine. That's a good, as long as you're not eating junk, that's fine. Like you're following the Weston A. Price guideline. 50% of your meat should be raw. So, good job. Fingers crossed. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Life isn't fair. So I don't know if he'll get his day in court. But he can't run forever, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy he would go on that. I can't even believe that. He went on that thing and the guy didn't even ask him. He probably didn't even know, because that's like a pretty chronically online thing to know, like, the whole history of why he's a sicko. But a lot of reasons he's just popular is because he's just a meme. Like, he's a lol cow, pretty much. I mean, he's got a wig on top of a failed hair transplant on top of a hair tattoo. Yeah. Very cringe. Yeah. Yeah, I guess he would have had to know, because Godas wouldn't go on the interview without saying, yeah, if you ask me these questions, I'll do this or that, or I won't take the interview. Yeah, because he doesn't talk to like anybody, It's pretty crazy. What a life. What a crazy life. Yeah, it can't last much longer. He's got to run out of money. Slave scribers. Oh yes, my slave scribers pay for my Asian lifestyle. Let's this on my finger? Oh, I'm getting more of these bumps. I've been getting lots of skin detoxes. Put some clay on that, or some grapefruit or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm just hanging out tonight. 1:30, hour 30. Do you have any last call for questions? I want to see if I can boot up SimCity again. At least just for some background music. I might just do that. Just run it for background music. Yeah, there we go. I did not have vegetable juice today. In the summer, I mostly just eat a lot of tomatoes. Just a lot of tomatoes. Or sport formula. That's what I do. That's what I tend to do. You have to cut up the pineapple first. You have to do the pineapple. So I blend the pineapple, and they have to be room temperature. So room temperature pineapple, room temperature animal fat. And then I put in chunks, little chunks of animal fat into the pineapple slurry. And then I mix that up until I get the consistency I want. That's the best way to do it. You don't melt the fat. It's like little chunks. It becomes like a paste. It doesn't become like melted. It's just a paste. Yep, I saw that. My subscribers need to go shoot forced B-roll for me. Blatant and pathetic. Yeah. Pretenders for sure. It's just LARPing. People just LARPing. It's crazy, man. But that's what happens when people are losers and they don't have anything for themselves, you know? That's all it is. Just losers who have nothing going on, man, except a bunch of online shit. Yeah. Very crazy. Do I use a meat grinder or a food processor? I use a food processor. It's actually a Ninja blender that like is a food processor. It's a blend, so to speak. Basically, like, it's got 4 blades, but a food processor would work good. And yeah, that's what I use. So let me set this up. Interesting. Yeah, I don't use a meat grinder. Processor's easier to clean and maintain. Sam Hyde, he did a bit about waking up and not being Indian, and a game of life, but for minorities, and time traveling. Why young time travelers are attacking old Asian people. And something about a cookout. And yeah. Nick's stand-up was funnier. Nick is the funniest. I mean, Sam's act was really funny, but like Nick was just stand-up and jokes. It was really funny. Beef chunks with a lot of fat. They don't pate properly, no matter what you do. So the problem is you don't want to pate the fat with the beef. You want to pate the fat and the meat separately. That's your problem. Oh, wait, no, I see what you're saying. Chunks of beef with a lot of fat. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, my Ninja blender, go look on my YouTube. And, yeah, that's what I use. The Ninja blender, food processor hybrid thing, and it works great. I do chuck roast in there all the time. I have no problems. So, I don't know, man. Is it acceptable to use a meat grinder, or I just recommend against it? If you grind the meat once, it's okay. But if you grind it more than once, it does something to the meat. I don't know. It's not as good. Nick Rochefort of $1 Million Stream. Sam and Nick and Charles and then Alex Schultz, they all did stand-up for their tour. It's really funny. I'm going to see Nick when he comes to Ohio. I'm actually going to be working the merch booth for him, I think. My friend's connected, and he said, hey, if you want to do this, I could use the help. And I said, yeah, sure. So, yeah. Couple Ohio dates, I'm helping him out. So that'll be cool. Yeah, man, Nick's funny as hell. I'm really looking forward to that show. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. That's unfortunate. I missed that. Tim and Eric, that's funny. Tim and Eric. Yeah. Some of their stuff is funny, but it's pretty, like, miss. You know, a lot of their stuff is, like, not as good as MDE's. Although I will say World Peace 2 was a little bit of a letdown. I really liked Will Forte's appearances on Tim and Eric. Those were the best. Where he's talking about his dad, his abusive dad. Why do my belts have holes in them? Because they're belts that they all have. Not my belts. You go to the bathroom, you don't flush. I need to see what you did. Yeah, those were so funny. Will Forte forting around, and he's just trauma dumping about trauma. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, I mean, you're always going to have some, like, stringiness and some, you know, chunks of fat, but, like, it's not that bad. Let me see this chart. Let me see what I missed. The best cook starch is like rice and potatoes. No, air pop popcorn, then rice and potatoes and sourdough. So yeah, that's kind of on the low end. But I mean, it's not bad. It's not too bad. You should eat a lot of fat with it. You know? You'll be aight. It's over for cortisol cells. I haven't had. The last time I had rice was in sushi 3 weeks ago. The last time I had a potato was like years, like probably 3 years. Last time I had a potato. Internet lingo is funny. I pointed this out, you know, it's funny how like raw is good and cooked is bad. Or at least maybe raw isn't like inherently seen as good, but cooked is like seen as bad. Like if someone's cooked, that's a terrible thing. I have live chat selected right now. So I don't know. Moderation activity. What is this? Community moderation. I don't know how any of this stuff works. I'm a 30-year-old boomer, dude. I have no moderation in my live chat. So I don't know what to tell you guys. People who said I have this or that, I don't. people swallow. Well, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, yeah, raw, it used to be that way. It's maybe a little outdated, but cooked has a negative connotation. But cooking has a positive connotation. But that's always been, that's like 100 years. Like if someone's cooking, that's like 100 years slang. Yes, no, you're right, Andrew. I agree. I concur. Have I ever waged off while driving? Nope. Never done that. That sounds dangerous. Absolutely, Andrew. It's better to cook than to be cooked. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I'd rather be doing the cooking. I'm not going to eat it, but I'll cook it up. You know what I'm saying? I need to grab my honey. Ugh. Top chat. Well, I'm in the live chat. I mean, who cares what people see or don't see? I'm seeing it. I'm in live chat. I can't do anything about the moderation. I told you guys I just looked, and it doesn't let me do anything. I don't have any moderation, so I don't know why. It must be YouTube's custom moderation, and I can't do anything about it. I'm not going to do anything about it. I don't have time for that. I'm sorry. YouTube's going to do what they're going to do. I can't change them. I could go to Rumble, but then I would have even less viewers. Wow, that's great, Bill. I hope that was good for you. You know, never goon. That's how I feel about it. I was laughing at how much of a loser maniac I was. I don't know, Bill, I have no idea what you're talking about, to be honest. Wagging. Maybe you're talking about it something else, wagging. A wag. I don't know what that means. Bear meat. No, I have not. I've heard it's really good, though. Is anyone here normal? I'm not normal, Xander, but I'm not, like, I don't know. I'm pretty, like, relatable. I'm pretty chill. I'll say I'll chill. I'm pretty chill. I'm like a real dude. I've been described as a real dude many times in my life, unsolicited. And that's all I got to say. I wouldn't say I'm normal, but I'm real. I'm authentic. So, it is what it is, man. Is the music too loud, or is the music a good volume? I really like this soundtrack. It's awesome. We're listening to SimCity 3000 right now. And, yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, Bill's comment. Well, I see it in the live chat, bud, so whacking and jacking are not inherently lewd terms by themselves, so it depends on context. You are affirming, though, that I was understanding what you were talking about, what you were trying to communicate. And it doesn't make much sense, your next comment, your comments. It felt so good, and then you were laughing at how much of a maniac you were. A loser maniac you were. I don't get the correlation. I don't know if I want to understand it, but started becoming spiritual. Yeah, I don't know. I never felt much of a difference. Mashallah, Habibi. Yeah, I will. Yeah, Bill, you're going to start becoming like excellent health. That's what you're going to turn into. You're going to turn to excellent health from abstinence. My hormones are pretty balanced. I don't feel a need to do that stuff. But I don't really feel any different. I don't feel better because I don't do it. I just feel fine. You know, I feel pretty fine most days. So I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Whatever. Like I said, it is what it is. Just eat food and get healthier. So crazy and pathetic? Yeah, you got that right. It's destructive. It's dangerous. It's reckless driving. Swedish twink kruse. Your words, not mine. What a life. That's crazy. Swedish twink kruse is crazy. I love milk. Picked up some darn good honey. I got it from a guy. He captures swarms of bees and he homes them. So the honey has a very interesting taste. The excellent health guy, he doesn't look Swedish to me. Truckers do a lot of things. Actually, I'm pretty sure they don't do it while they're driving because everything's like monitored now. Everything's monitored. Their system shut down when they drive too long, like they have to pull over. There's a lot of monitoring and surveillance in cabs now. But I don't know, yeah. There are a lot of accidents on the road, awful lot of accidents nowadays. I wonder why. That's too bad. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's like, yeah, let's, like, instead of raising wages and training people, let's just import a bunch of Indians to drive trucks in America. Let's invite a bunch of people who have no regard for the rules of the road, the way of the road, and let's put them behind the wheel with with multiple tons of all kinds of expensive merchandise, 18 wheels, and let's just put them out there on the open road with everybody else and see what happens. Jeez Louise, man. I used to live in South Asia, and let me tell you about driving in South Asia. It's less driving and more just like chaos. It's insane. Yeah, I taste the difference all the time. If you go to a local beekeeper, you'll be able to tell. And they'll say, yeah, these are my goldenrod bees, these are my clover bees, these are my buckwheat bees, these are my, I don't know, whatever bees, different flowers. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a big difference, man. Like, I have goldenrod honey, which is darker, and then this stuff is more gold. Well, the goldenrod, that's the name of it, but the honey's darker. But this is more like light, and the taste is very different. Honey has different tastes. Find a local beekeeper or order from ebhoney.com. ebhoney.com has a lot of really interesting flavors. You can also order like orange blossom honey from Florida. So, yeah, it's worth it. If you like honey, it's worth it to try some different flavors. Yeah, I talked about living in Nepal a bunch. You just weren't here for it. But, I'll do it for the watch time. Just make sure you guys like the stream. Appreciate you. So I moved to Nepal. I took a quarter off from college to go live in Nepal because I had money and I wanted to travel somewhere cheap for a long time and somewhere that was really different. And Nepal checked all those boxes, basically. My parents are very concerned. They thought I was going to get kidnapped by terrorists and die or something. Or I was going to, be mugged and brutally murdered and assaulted. None of that happened, obviously. But my mother, she was a nervous wreck. And she thought it was a good idea for me to use a travel agent, okay? And I was like, no, I'm just going to buy the tickets online because that's what everybody does. But then she was like, oh no, your uncle used this travel agent and she's really good. Do you know how good this travel agent was? I call her up on the phone and I schedule the flight. It's $1,800. So I was paying too much. And then she walked me through, okay, you're flying from Columbus to, this city, and there's a transfer, and then you fly to San Francisco. And then from San Francisco, you fly to Auckland, New Zealand, and then you fly to Kathmandu, Nepal. And I was like, okay, I guess. You're the travel agent. And then, and so, I get my tickets and everything, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to New Zealand, okay, whatever. And that's why the tickets were $1,800. But anyway, I am sitting in the San Francisco airport, and I'm like, I don't know if this is right. But I guess it is, because it's a travel agent. And so I fly Air New Zealand, which was really nice. Really attractive hostesses, air stewardesses, whatever they're called, attendants. And I ate these white chocolate chip pancakes. They were so tasty. And then I get to the airport in New Zealand in Auckland, and I'm trying to find out where I'm going. My border pass says domestic. So I go to domestic, and I see the customs and border patrol guy. And he's like, how long you staying in for New Zealand, mate? And I said, oh, no, I'm getting a flight to Nepal, to Kathmandu. I'm not going to be here that long. I just have a layover. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to Nepal. And I pull out, he's like, no, but how long are you going to stay in New Zealand for? I'm like, yeah, I'm not staying here. I'm getting a flight. And I'm like pulling out my backpack because it's the summer in New Zealand, right? And I'm pulling out my sweater and my wool socks and my guidebook. And he's like, "Oh, that don't sound right, mate." And he stamps my passport and lets me into the country. So I call, my travel agent. I'm still in the airport. And I'm talking with these guys at the airline. And they're like, "Oh, mate, you don't want to go to Pattaya? That sucks." And I said, "Oh, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to go to Kathmandu." And they're having a laugh about it because they're like, "You're all the way down here." They're pointing on a map, like this big map. They're all the way down here. And you're supposed to be all the way up here. And like I'm on the completely other side of the world, like from where I'm supposed to be. And I'm just realizing like how fricked this all is. And so I finally get this lady on the phone. And I'm like, "Yeah, I think you messed up." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I got to figure this out." So I go into New Zealand for like 12 hours, and I go to a hostel. I take a shower, and I meet this guy named Tim. He was from England, and I was learning about his story. And he said he left England 2 years ago, because there was no future or hope for England. He's like, "I just left because it sucks. And I'm working in Australia and New Zealand." And so I'm like, "Oh, cool." So we hang out, and then we meet up with some Germans who were staying in our hostel, and then we go play soccer at the park, and we meet up with some more people, and we have a nice soccer game. And then I come back, and my flight's all squared away, and I head back to the airport that evening for a flight to Hong Kong, which is 12 hours. And then I have a 9-hour layover in Hong Kong with a flight to Bangladesh, and then it goes to Nepal, finally. So after, 84 hours of travel time, I finally get to Kathmandu. And this guy, he was trying to scam me, but I scammed him because he took my bag. He's like, "Oh, let me help you with your bag." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I thought he just was just trying to be helpful. But then he wanted money, and I was like, "Yeah, I actually don't have money with me, sorry." And I just walk away. I actually didn't really have money with me. And I walked away, and he didn't know what to do. It was hilarious. And then I found a cab, and I kind of overpaid for it, which is customary, And I was like, "I need to go to this hotel in Durbar Square." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, I know where that is." And so I get to Durbar Square, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, right? Everything's closed. We get to Durbar Square, and he's like, "Well, this is Durbar Square, but I don't know where your hotel is." So I get out of the cab, and I'm just standing there in the street, and there's dogs everywhere running around, and there's people having fires on the street, and they're all looking at me, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? And I can't find my hotel. I didn't have a reservation either, by the way. So I look around, and I finally find the hotel, which is locked. They got the bars up, and I'm knocking and I'm knocking because I'm like, I don't really want to sleep outside tonight. I want to sleep in a bed. And the hotel owner answers, thankfully, and I get a room. And I'm hungry. He's like, "Oh, you need to eat. And there's a restaurant downstairs, and they're like, "Go eat." And I was like, "Okay." So I was like, I don't know what to eat. And I'm like, Snicker momos, which are dumplings with momos, with dumplings with Snickers. And I noticed I have my first culture shock because the kitchen was super dirty. There's just black shit on everything, and I was like, okay. And I picked the most complicated thing to eat, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I ate that, and I drank a Coca-Cola, and then I tried to sleep, and I couldn't. And then I just threw up. I just had to throw up. And then I finally passed out and went to bed. And then I woke up, and it was crazy. the madness outside. And yeah, so that's like how I went to Nepal the first time. Yeah, Manuka honey is a scam. Hey, Bailey. I was just recanting my tales of the first time I went to Nepal and how the travel agent was a stupid person and sent me to the wrong country in the wrong hemisphere. Funny travel story, though. And I got to check New Zealand off my list. I was there for 12 hours. Yeah, the spider part, that was fun. There was also the part where I was like going through a really extreme detox for like a whole day. I like was throwing up and having diarrhea to the point where I couldn't leave my room and I was like crawling on the floor. It was so bad. It was so bad that I like managed to make it downstairs and talk to the hotel lady, who was always kind of stern and no nonsense. And when she saw how sick I was, she like got really like scared and concerned. And she got me as like some electrolyte packet or something, and I was like drinking that, and it made me feel better. And some other stuff I don't really remember. But I was like sweating and delirious, and I was like, I felt like I was dying. It was a bad detox, man. But I felt really good after it, though. I don't know. I don't remember what I ate. I was pretty intoxicated, honestly. I remember getting sugarcane juice at this place, and it was like really dirty though. And I felt like I saw a gecko get juiced. I wasn't sure if I was hallucinating or just delirious or out of it, but I felt like there was a gecko in the juicing wheel. Maybe I was just seeing things, but yeah, it was really bad. Yeah. Yep. The worst part about that story, though, was I fumbled a Russian baddie, a 10 out of 10. She, her name was Natasha, of course, but she was just, just perfectly attractive Russian woman. She was older than me, but like, I don't know, I wasn't a very socialized person. I was very introverted. I was very in my own head. I was pretty autistic, like more so than I am now. And yeah, she had big blue eyes and blonde hair and just very in shape, attractive woman. And yeah, I fumbled that because I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, it was, like you're saying, Xander, so many parts of that trip were a disaster in hindsight. But it was, all in all, it was pretty good. It was a good experience. I read a lot of books, and I got to do a lot of hiking. I saw a lot of neat temples. I got to meet lots of cool people. Had some good parties, some good times, and also just like living stress-free was awesome. When you can live and you don't have to worry about money and you can do whatever you want, basically, it's like the best time of your life. Honestly, it was like the best 3 months of my life, pretty much. Despite all the shortcomings, best 3 months of my life, easy. Because I had no responsibilities. I could just chill and eat good food and, smoke cigarettes and, drink tea and read books and just meet new people and just go wherever I wanted, pretty much. And I was young, so it was awesome. It was the best. It's probably the best time of that's where my life probably peaked, honestly. Well, we'll see. I shouldn't say it peaked, but definitely one of the peaks. I wouldn't say I'm like non-functional, but my facial expressions, I'm a little better now, but they would often never match what I was feeling inside or trying to communicate. When I would speak, sometimes I would speak in an accent, Like sometimes I would speak in an English accent, and I wouldn't mean to. And sometimes, like, I was just very quiet and introverted in my own head. Like, I was not very verbal. I was always very anxious and neurotic. And I got over a lot of that. Some of it was just exposure therapy, like going to Nepal and doing all that stuff. Definitely made me less conscious and less self-conscious and more outgoing. And you know, yeah. And I do things like I'll listen to the same song like 100 times. And I like a routine for some things. But yeah, I definitely have some quirks, let's say. I'm not really good at picking up on social cues, especially when it came to, women. Growing up or in my young adult life, I just couldn't pick up on just the way people look at you. And like, I didn't understand, like, how people were feeling when I would look at them. It's a lot better now, but I used to just not be able to pick up on that. So, yeah, that was my life. Exciting life of me, of eat raw meat. Yeah, I've talked about it before. I'd go back to Nepal. I would do some raw meat streams, and that'd be cool. I mean, I get enough subscribers, enough donations, I'll be able to do it. If I had $5,000, I could do it. I could spend a month in Nepal easy. If I could make $5,000, yeah. Because it's gonna cost me $2,000 to get there, and I got living expenses back at home, and then I need food and stuff basically for there. But yeah, if I had that, I could do it. I could do a really cool stream. I'd make lots of good content. It'd be the best Nepal content, honestly, because I know all kinds of cool places. I know a lot of locals. So it'd be pretty dope. It'd be pretty dope. They got cell service there now, so I could do live streams and such. And then just like recording content and making it, but yeah. Different like raw meat dishes and of the country, and eating Primal there. Just the nature's incredible. Interviews and such. Yeah. It could take anywhere from 3 to 5 years to time machine. It just depends on your health. It depends on your health and how much you're doing the baths and how much fat you're eating. It's very common for people to be fatigued and nap a lot, but that's how you heal. So it's a good thing to nap. Yeah, Xander, it would be. Fingers crossed. I would like to do that. All right, we're nixing the music. I don't think he would love it. I don't think he would even go. He'd probably say, like, you're insane to go there. It's not as bad as India from what I've heard. And I've been pretty close. Like, I was on the border, like right on the border of Nepal and India. And I can definitely see, like, it did not feel like Nepal where I was on the border. I felt like I was in another country. And I could see what people were talking about when they were talking about India. I don't know about the butter, but it's very easy to get, like, raw buffalo curd and milk. Butter might be possible if you know somebody. You can get sugarcane juice, and you can get meat. Meat's pretty accessible. The stuff is kind of expensive, though, but you can make it work. I can make it work. I would probably cheat though. I would eat samosa from Tip Top and Jerry, like really bad fried sweet and savory foods. I would eat that stuff probably. And lots of gulab jamun or lal mahon, whatever. It's different names. So good. Lal mahon is the Nepali name. Yeah. I tried to find some yak butter. Yak butter goes hard. I don't think I saw that one. Was that He Will Not Divide Us? Yeah, Sam's doing his like Tucker Carlson grifter bit. It's pretty. I don't know if I can't tell if he's being genuine or he's just like grifting, but it's pretty funny. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, every time I've met like Sam or Nick, they always compliment my drip. It's pretty awesome. But I do have a good fashion sense. I mean, you can pick up on that. I'm into colostrum. I've never had it, but just ordered a quart because my Amish guy has some for sale. I only order it if I can get it fresh because usually it's frozen because it's like it's only produced like right after the cow gives birth for like a day. After 2 days, it's like gone at the end of the second day. So yeah, if you can get it fresh and it's not frozen, it's worth trying. It doesn't taste very good. It tastes like bad. It tastes like bad butter. It tastes like sour butter. It's not good. Biryani. Yeah, I've had biryani before. You know, and chop suey and fried rice, momos. I'm a dumpling guy, so like I loved momos. Momos with the sauce. And also my order at the Lumbini restaurant was tandoori chicken, garlic cheese naan, rajma, which is beans, with curd. So I'd add the curd to the rajma, and then I would eat the chicken tandoori and some rice with the garlic cheese naan, and I'd drink a Coke or a tea sometimes with my meal. And then I get a Snickers bar for dessert usually. Nah, man, I don't know. And Nepali momos, very good. Very good. The best momos I ever had were from this fancy restaurant my friend knew. And they were the best, like, they were sweet, but it was like so spicy. It was so hot. It was like the most intense heat I've ever eaten. And it was delicious. It was so good. Buff momos, oh my god. Those are the best. I don't think Afghanistan has anything like that. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, Nepali cuisine's pretty good. It's better than Indian cuisine because there's more meat. It's like Indian cuisine, but with meat. So it's better. Because it tastes better. And there's Tibetan food too, like Tibetan tukpa. It's like really good soup. My favorite skit from the new Extreme Piece. I really liked Insurance Fraud Man and the construction worker one. And the one where they're picking coffee beans. I crave cooked food. I wouldn't say I crave it, but I think about it sometimes. I mean, I don't eat it, but I think about it because I know it's not going to make me feel good. I mean, I've talked about this before. Chili cheese dogs. A nice Vienna beef hot dog grilled. A little mustard on the bun. Chili. White onions. Fresh white onions. Cheese on top. Lots of shredded cheddar cheese. Chili cheese dog. A nice burger. A good burger. Can't beat that. Philly cheesesteaks. Another top tier food. Beef stroganoff. arancini with ragu and cheese inside. Ragu meat sauce and the cheese inside. Cannolis. Chocolate chip cookies. Brownies. Now I'm feeling sick talking about this stuff. It's making my stomach feel gross. Udon over ramen. Japanese curry beef and rice with the pickled radish and spice up the rice, some hot sauce, chili oil. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Sushi rolls, takoyaki. Yeah. Check what out, Bill? Oh, the extreme piece, yeah. They're putting a lot of them online, and I'm kind of upset because they promise extra content, like extra skits that didn't make it, and they haven't uploaded them yet. So they need to work on that because I paid for it. It wasn't that much extra, but they need to come out. So, but they take forever to do things. I'm going to ask Nick. I'm going to be like, hey man, where the hell is my extra piece, extra skits? No, I mean, I'm not planning on eating those foods. Like, if I was traveling, it'd be a different story. But as far as here, where I have my home base and my food sources, America is really the best place for the primal diet. So, like, I could always eat the diet here, wherever, But if I go somewhere like to Japan, it's like, yeah, I'm totally going to eat the sushi rolls. I'm totally going to eat the shrimp tempura. I'm totally going to eat the beef curry rice. I'm totally going to eat the katsudon. I'm totally going to eat the, gyoza. I'm totally going to eat, yakisoba. I'm totally going to eat takoyaki. I'm going to eat those things. And I'm going to drink a lot of beer probably too. So that's what happens if I would go to Japan. Whatever. It's just a little bit of cooked food for a few weeks. I'll be fine. I'll still be eating hella beef and fish too, so it's not like I won't be eating. I'll be eating like 50% raw for sure. I would do raw in the morning. So like, yeah, if you're time machine, like if you're on a half raw diet, you should eat your raw food first and then eat your cooked food later in the day. So that way you can assimilate and digest more of the raw food easier and the cooked food comes later. That's what you should do. Honestly, that's the meta. So, that's what I'd recommend. But yeah, now we're coming up on 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And I want to watch some Demon Slayer before I go to bed. So, I'm going to do that. And I'm not going to stream tomorrow. I'm not going to stream Saturday. Yeah, because I'm busy. And I'll stream Sunday. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you Sunday. So I'll be streaming Sunday. If you want to come by, come on by. Is it bad to eat cooked meat shortly after raw meat? I would wait a half hour at least. You want the raw meat to pass through your stomach. That takes 30 minutes. And then, like, the raw meat's going to take longer to digest, so it won't catch up. But it won't matter because it's acidic. But I would wait 30 minutes before I eat, cooked meat. But honestly, I wouldn't be hungry enough to do that. Raw beef with rice is okay. It's better to front load the raw beef and not eat them at the same time, but it's okay. It's better than nothing. Agenus would let his clients eat turkey with pasta or sandwiches because they couldn't eat raw turkey on its own. So whatever it takes to get the raw meat into you, it is what it is. So you just do the best you can. That's all I got to say about that. But it is better to front load your proteins if you're having carbs, because it might interfere with digestion. Depends on you as a person, though, your digestion. Everybody's different, so. That's it. Any more questions? If not, you're going to have to save them for Sunday, because we're heading up on 2 hours and 30 minutes. So, again, thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I appreciate it, and I hope you got something out of the stream. I will be streaming on Sunday. So, yes. Kibe naye. Yes. There's raw meat dishes everywhere. There's raw meat dishes in Nepal. It's called keema. It's raw water buffalo with spices. Ethiopia has kitfo. Japan has stuff. Mongolia has stuff. China probably has raw meat. Europe has raw meat. Turkey has raw meat. Yeah, everywhere's got raw meat. So, you just gotta look. So, anyway, take it easy.